And this episode is brought to you by Draggin Bags. Did you miss out on the Charlies? That sucks to suck, because you definitely missed out on some masterpieces at work. They'll be available soon enough. So in the meantime, still go get your hands on some Draggin Bags. Head on over, get the great Power Dragon. Sean's just going to lift it up for those of you watching at home, just showing its majesty. The Charlies are dope. So yeah, they'll be out. They'll be back soon enough. But in the meantime, again, grab yourself
maybe
just
March
Dragon,
1st.
Yeah, maybe.
Hello,
we'll see.
Rumor.
But again, Draggin Bags needs to be in your everyday carry. So head over to dragginbags.com, drop code BIGASS12 to save yourself some money and pick up the bags that you are missing from your arsenal today, because everyone needs them. So just go get them. Why not?
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Big Ass Cornhole podcast. What, do you not want me to start right there? Oh, you wanted to play it?
I did, yeah.
All right, let's trim this part out. Go play it.
Let's go play it right now.
Welcome to the Big Ass Cornhole Show with Sean and Dane, the host you know, talking cornhole life and random fun. Grab a beer, let's get it done. From tossing bags to let's wild ride, tune in and join the party, don't you hide. It's the Big Ass Cornhole podcast time with Sean and Dane. It's always prime.
All right, so that's totally my bad.
It's okay, man.
Okay,
It's,
so
you know, new
typically,
age.
if you're listening to this and you hear like, why did you just jump the gun? Normally, we add this post, but Dane has now clipped it, and he's like, oh, I could just add it in.
Yeah,
right as
just
we go.
like we
and he
can-
told me that before we started recording.
And-
I wasn't really listening to him,
Yeah,
obviously.
it's
and
99% of our conversations.
And then when he
so you're welcome. Okay.
And then when you looked at me, like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm
You
like
had it
literally
clipped.
like in the moment
I
of
saw
about
it.
to click
I'm like,
press, and you're like,
yeah.
welcome back. I'm like,
All
come
right.
on, man.
All right, so anyways,
Come
welcome
on,
back
man.
to yet another episode of the Big Ass Porthole Podcast. Sean and Dane are obviously with you as always. What's going on, man?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
You needed that, honestly. Gave me a little kick. All right,
I'm just here
because
for it, man. I'm
yeah,
here
I was dragging a little bit, man. Dinner got me. It's all right.
No pun intended.
Yeah,
How about that?
pun was intended. But,
All right,
you caught it.
so kind of a like hectic episode. A lot to kind of touch on this week. So before we get into all that, let the folks know what we're sipping on tonight. Our favorite segment called "What You Drinking."
What you drinking? Down to water now, but
Yeah.
enjoyed a couple of the Saucy Brew Works.
I love
Juicy
their stuff.
ASAP IPA. It's their Juicy IPA. It's a very good one. So
They're one of my favorite like local people.
Yeah.
like for sure.
for
Like,
sure. And
everything
like they keep it very local,
Yeah.
which I do have a respect for nowadays.
Yeah, for sure.
It's everyone's just kind of whoring themselves out to these mass distributors just to get their shit out there. But
I love
one of the
I love
few.
their logo.
yes, always have great can work.
Correct.
Which honestly, to me, when I'm shopping in a store,
First
and
thing
it
that
catches my eye,
100%.
dude, I'm taking a look at it to see if that's
If
an
your
interesting
logo
beer.
looks like it's from the 1800s, I'm not even gonna bother.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Or if your logo looks cool to me, then guess what? Like, you're in the door.
yeah, I'm at least gonna
like,
check it out. I
exactly.
might buy it just because I like the can.
Because to me, it's like, hey, we like the same kind of style artwork.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm probably gonna like your beer too. So,
right?
Yeah, just
Makes sense.
so yeah, Saucy Brewworks, great beers. So if you're ever in the Cleveland area, or if you just happen to get them distributed by you, pick it up. It's a good one.
Oh yeah. All right, so we have more audio gold planned as always. So this week we're going to recap the results of the Reno Open. We are going to update the best of the bags, including who's like their top 10, like the power rankings right now, right? Who's
Yes.
leading the vote getting. We have some dramatic readings, and then we're going to be joined by some decent player. He got off to a hot start, been a little slower recently. There's been some chirps about, has he lost it? Was he just flash in the pan? But Mr. Jeremiah Ellis is
Never
joining
heard
the
of
show.
her.
I thought so. Before I reached out to him, I'm like, I feel like he's been on too recently. I look back, he hasn't been on. It's been well
It's
over
been a minute.
year.
Yeah.
So the last time
Because
he was
remember,
on,
last
that was
time
with Ryan.
we were like, God, are we just hyping this guy up too much? And then
Yeah.
like he shut us up for a while. Like we never actually had him on after I think he
Yeah, I was just
kinda
saying, when did
won-
because we had him
we
on
might have
right.
had
We
him
had him
after-
and Ryan on right before they won the national.
yeah.
Because that started the whole thing. Like, oh shit, if you come on the show, you're going national. Because
Yeah.
then after that was like Kingsbury and Rawls came on. Yeah, it was just
so
like
they kind
kinda
of
just
launched
rolled.
it. But yeah, it's just funny because I guess we just interact with him a lot, so we just feel
that's
like
what, I know
he's-
that's what it is.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm happy to have them on. It's gonna be fun.
Always gonna be fun. All right, so before we get into all that, we're gonna let you know what's going on in our lives. A favorite segment called "In and Around the Hole."
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Hold the phone. Your boy played cornhole.
Wow.
I went to the Thursday night blind draw
Nice.
at Teams, and it took second.
Oh, nice. Who'd you play with?
So you're gonna put me on the spot.
I know, I'm sorry.
blanking
I
on
thought
his
you might
name.
have known.
It's all right, I'm gonna pull it up though. It's
Okay.
on Scoreholio. So give me a moment.
How
I'll
were
just
the
talk about
numbers?
my game. Numbers were pretty good. There was 26.
Okay,
I think
it's
there.
pretty solid.
So yeah, I mean 3 boards. So yeah, we were there for a little bit. It
Was EA running it then?
it was not.
Oh, okay.
It's under his hype beast cornhole.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it was
Former ACL pro Eric Anderson. He lives like right around the corner from us. So Teams is a pretty local bar to us.
yeah.
You
It
know,
was,
he normally runs most of the stuff up there.
let's see. I'm trying to pull up this old dashboard. I don't. Maybe it's not there.
Scoreholio.
Oh, this is for the next one.
Well, anyway, so while you're looking that up, we'll get back to it.
Pull this up.
So, I traveled to Houston last week. So, as you were listening to the episode last week, I was actually gallivanting around Houston, Texas. We went out. Me and my wife went out there for the American Physical Therapy, what's called the CSM or the Combined Sections meeting. So once a year, all the really smart people in physical therapy, not me included, get together and present like their research, like my wife. And you just go and listen to a bunch of stuff and see all the new technology and stuff, whatever new in the field. Every year I leave there and I feel a little dumber. I feel not as accomplished, and it's a weird feeling leaving there because I leave there and I'm super proud of my wife. You know, like she's definitely like moving in the right direction in her career, and she has several pathways she can kind of cool, and it's really cool to see that. But at the same time, I'm like, I feel like I've really put my career on hold a bunch, and like I haven't progressed. Like if you would have asked me 10 years ago where I'd be PT wise, like I had big aspirations of like doing big things, and it just seems like it's kind of on hold. And now as you kind of progress through life, it just doesn't seem like it's a realistic possibility anymore. So it's
Big
kind of a weird feeling.
aspirations. So like, I see what you did there.
Yeah, you know. Did you finally find it?
I'm still looking for some reason. I'm just not good at navigating these
But
things.
Houston was cool. They had several of the sets there. Like the tents had like cornhole boards and bags.
Yeah.
And like every time my wife would see, she's like, "You got to go over and throw." I'm like, "No." And then finally she made me do it, and like she snapped a photo. So I'm just like, I don't need to go, because then inevitably it happens. She's like you can tell him like you have a podcast, and I'm like, I don't need to tell him I have a cornhole podcast. Like it's all good. We're surrounded by like physical therapy people. It's good.
It's do you feel like you have to behave yourself like a lot though?
No,
Or,
like I'm still myself. Like that's part of the thing. Like if I were like, I kind of feel like I missed my calling a little bit in sales, just because you put me in the expo and talking to people. Like that's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
And my wife likes me going to these events because inevitably we have to go to like these dinners and cocktail hours with the
and you're a
higher-ups
good
and-
person to bring
Oh,
with you
dude.
because again
I'm
you're
a great-
sociable.
I'm a great bar dude.
Yeah,
Like that's
you'll-
what my wife knows. Like that's
yeah,
my role
you'll
in
get
our
along
relationship.
you'll get along with anyone that's in front of you.
Correct.
You'll find some sort of common ground.
Her both of her bosses are older females.
Yeah.
Older females love us. You know what I mean? Like it's just like when I was dating girls in high school, like their moms loved me.
Oh, of
you know what I mean?
course,
Like I
yeah.
know how to do that.
I'm
game.
still very much a schmoozer of moms.
Oh yeah, and and her boss's
good at
boss,
it.
so like the very high
Yeah.
up, like the highest up you can get Cleveland Clinic.
You know what? We were raised by a boss mom, so like,
Correct.
It's easy to, understand it. and
Well, I found so Val
relate.
let me know a little tidbit as we're walking in. She's like, "Oh, if you want a talking point with Mary's husband, her nephew just got drafted in the NHL by the Blackhawks."
Oh, there you go.
I'm like, "Oh, sweet." So I looked up his name real fast. He went to Ignatius. So obviously
Strike
easy.
one.
So I went up to her husband. I'm like, "Hey, nice to meet you. Just want to say congratulations. Heard your nephew got drafted in the NHL. Pretty cool. Sorry, he went to the wrong school." And he like looked at me and he smiled. He's like, "Ed's guy?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Me too, class 72." I'm like, "No shit."
There we
man.
go.
Like, hell
See,
yeah.
all you had to do
Like,
was
all
just
right, so,
find
like,
one
we- yeah.
commonality.
So we
There
were
you
good
go.
for the next 10 minutes, talking about rugby and like
Yeah.
just the school and how much has changed. And I had my 20th anniversary or reunion coming
Dude, you're
up.
so old.
I know, man.
My God.
And so just chopping it up and all that stuff. But then it basically came apparent as I'm looking at this. And I'm like, what's one thing that I can bring to the table in the physical therapy world? There is zero competition out there outside of like our national organization pumping out a podcast.
Yeah.
Which is just fucking boring, like bland. Like it's got to be by the books. Like I'm going to start a PT podcast. So it's going to be like, my plan is like over the next 3, 4, 5 months to kind of roll it out, get interviews kind of stacked up. So then when I'm ready to launch, I'll have kind of like a network of stuff. But
Is
so
your
if you-
first episode going to be like how to combat bitchy patients?
No, I want to interview people. Like I don't want this just to be me. Like I'll do like the first episode is like an intro, like what I want the show to be about. But I just want to talk about like to interesting people like in the field. Like,
See,
it doesn't
I
have to
think
be PTs.
you should definitely take the avenue of you're the PT that says what all PTs want to say.
I definitely will do that as some of
like
the
I think
episodes.
if you take that as a little launch point, I think
100%.
people will relate to it.
But at the same time, like if it's my professional career, like I just got to be a little careful. But when I'm doing the interviews, I got to be nice.
yeah, but at the same time,
so
professional
if you're in the
careers could
medical,
benefit
I
from
know
being
it's probably
popular.
not like a huge percentage of our listeners are in the medical field, but if you're in the medical field, like that's what I kind of want to make the podcast about.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna, I guess, let them use the basement.
Yeah.
And
You can be my executive producer, man.
that's fine.
All
Yeah.
podcasts have it.
I mean, if it takes off, then just give me 10%.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
I'll
we'll
be
out. We
fine.
got it.
I set my number.
So did you find the guy's name or did you
I did.
give
Yes.
up? Okay.
All right.
What was
So
it? All right. Go back.
as soon as I saw it, it reminded me. It's he goes by fucking Adam.
Fucking Adam. Okay.
But I've seen him
G
many
or
times.
no G?
No, it's FCKN.
Oh, N. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So just like leaves all the
Little country. Fuck.
vowels out of there.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But he's a fun person to watch throw. He's all over the place when
Oh,
he
nice.
throws.
Okay.
He takes a big step to his right.
Nice.
And he's a right-handed thrower, and like it's kind of funny. But
All right.
he's a dog though. Like
Okay,
I've seen
cool.
him up there. He's I want to say like he's definitely always at teams. But
Okay.
then he's like I think he follows like the Wingate.
Would I
circle out
recognize
here.
him if I saw
think
him?
so.
Okay.
Yeah, he's around quite a bit, and like. When I was paired up with him, I had a couple people like, "Oh, you got Adam."
What you guys throw?
Luckily enough, he's a Draggin Bags
Oh,
thrower.
look at that.
Through my bread and butters, the white Power Dragons. It was just my first game was trash.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Even though I walked up and I was warming up with Steve Fouts, and I was destroying him in the warm up.
And Fouts is a great guy to warm up with because he's going to leave you a clean board.
And I was just like hitting every shot, and he's like, you're throwing really good. I'm like, dude, I feel like when I don't throw, I just step up and can throw.
It's when you don't throw with me.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yes and no. There's some lacking on the other end of the board too.
Yeah, 100%. No, I'm not saying it's not. Yeah, it's
I feed
100%
off my
me.
partner sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. I get that 100%.
But anyways, like step up to the board game one, and I threw like a 6. Man,
Okay.
I just couldn't put him in the hole. It was really bothering me. Game 2 on, totally different story. Through my game, was hitting good shots, like put the blocker down when I needed it, and just was pouring bags in the hole. Handled business. Like
Yeah.
I was the 1A. Moving up, Adam was just like very consistent, increasingly getting better each game.
That's all you ask for.
Yeah, and he was building up to the champ. And I knew that like people were telling me like when he gets hot though, just let him rip.
Who did you
airmails.
guys lose to in the finals?
So we actually lost to our boy AJ.
Okay.
He works with me and stuff. He's a great thrower though. Like
He is.
he just doesn't get out anymore
He's
because
also won
he's working all
early.
the time.
He grinded at it.
Yes, and
Like,
he
he
became
worked.
very good. So, he's kind of like me right now, where we're not throwing that
Yeah,
often,
yeah.
but when he steps up, he finds
For
success. So, I watched him put up back-to-back 9s in a 3-round game on a good thrower, hitting roll bags and like hitting nasty shots.
We've seen him play really well.
So then he had king seat. We had to double dip in the championship, but we just didn't even have our best that first game and lost. But very happy that I just like got it together. I mean, I would definitely say that I threw right around a 9.
Okay. Solid.
For those like wins. The one loss was like the one outlier, but I was throwing okay. It was very just kind of what I expected.
Yeah. So
And then I had a simulator round too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. I forgot. And you played very well.
I did. Went up solo dolo. Dad was going to join me, but we had some weather, so I found the one pocket of no snow.
Solo golf is not a terrible thing.
Dude, especially at a simulator.
Yeah,
I
man.
only got an hour and a half. I hit the range hard for a half hour. I'm talking like I probably hit 100 golf balls
Yeah.
in a half hour because I'm like I'm just gonna. Literally, I wanted to work up a sweat.
Yeah.
I'm like I want to just like loosen everything up and like let's let it rip and then go play. I was thinking only 9.
Yeah.
In the last hour. No, I ripped through an entire 18 in an hour.
Nice.
And finished at a 2 over. But my front 9 was a checkerboard of different scores amongst bogeys and birdies, and then my back 9 was 2 under. Two
It's almost
birdies.
more fun to play like
Yeah, it was
that.
2 birdies and all pars, and it was just a good day. Like I was striping the driver on the back nine, just every drive was right down the
Are
middle.
you primarily hitting the new Cobra driver now?
Yeah, on that back nine I was. Like,
Okay.
I like to start off my round with the lighter driver
Okay.
because I'm just a little bit tighter and
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
get
I
that
get
one
that.
through easier. But
Yeah.
then, like, third, fourth hole, I've been switching over to that Cobra, and yeah, it's much heavier, but I feel like it's all about my tempo. If I can just control the tempo, thing blasts off on it. So I actually had a couple reads on a simulator at like 285, which is nothing that I've ever touched before. Usually it's like right around like 260 is like my long drive.
Okay.
But no, I was hitting some really good ones, and I could tell that I was just squaring it up, like hitting good contact, and then got this brand new 52 from Cleveland, the brand new Zip Core. Talked the dude down, like I felt like I was robbing him because I only paid $100 for it, and it was like $185 club.
Yeah.
But it was at the Cleveland golf show that my dad and I attended, which, you know, shout out to Blast Cornhole. Met you guys out there if you're listening. Very
Are they
nice
Ohio
meeting
guys?
you. Michigan.
Michigan. That's right. You did tell me that.
From
Okay.
Michigan,
Okay.
but
Very cool.
ACO Stamp Bags, we met up with him. He's not in the Battle of the Bags because he's like brand new to the
So
game.
can I ask, how did you meet them? Like, were you wearing something big ass?
No,
or?
I walked by and he had cornhole boards out.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
and bags
okay.
and stuff. So I just stopped by there, and like he also had pop dart boards.
Oh,
out.
that's
So
right,
like
that's right,
you know, I was
okay.
just like chit chatting with him about that. And
Yeah,
yeah, very cool guy. Sells a lot of bags, non-stamped market, but
Yeah, of
he's
course.
ACO stamped now, and they were good quality bags. Like his suede and duck cloth were very nice. But anyways, shout out to Blast Cornhole. Nice to meet you, brother. So yeah, just got this new 52, and it was that one club that I had a very old all wedge from my OG ever set of Nikes
Yeah.
back when I was like 16 years old that I bought, which is technically like the equivalent of a 52.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit higher. I think it's more like a 50. But,
Okay. Yeah.
wanted to get a 52 because I felt like that was the one club that I was missing wedge-wise that I
Mm-hmm.
desperately needed. Found it there, brought it to this for my first couple swings. Dude, it is 100 yards on the button for me every time on a full swing.
That's what you need.
And I was just, finally I had the club that I'm like 50 yards in. I know that I can put it on with any club. Like that's usually the all wedge, but like, again, it's such an old club and the face is so small that I never felt really confident
Yeah, I get
using
that.
it. So now
Yeah.
I have this beautiful oversized wedge with great grooves in it. I'm so excited to let that thing rip, dude. It's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah.
Sean's just scared now. He's like, shit, man. He's gonna short game, ready to go.
No, I've seen real
Dunzo.
golf. I've seen real golf. Simulator golf, so again, it's a video game. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, but I'm pretty good at real golf too. So.
I know. Like I know you are. Like everything else
I'm
except
telling you,
for
this
around
is
the
the year,
greens.
man. I'm gonna.
If you can learn how to putt, man, like you could be a serious
putting's
golfer.
gonna be no problem this year.
Okay. So really, the trip to Houston was kind of uneventful, right? Just went
Yeah.
to the it was a very good trip.
But you ate well.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
coming back, they made the announcement, right? And we paid extra to be business class, so
Yeah.
because we're Southwest and we wanted to be able to sit next to each other or whatever. They made the announcement when we're in line, right? When they're telling everyone to line up. Hey, this is not a full flight. This is not a full flight. It's actually a pretty empty flight. No one's gonna have to sit they're gonna, just have two in every row. No one's gonna have to be in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So we get on the plane. We're in row like 3 or 4. We're comfortable. I'm in the aisle. My wife gets the window seat. That's what she likes. So it doesn't matter. I'm more of a window guy myself. But if my wife wants the window, she can have the window. I'm basically, me on a plane. I throw headphones in.
Yep.
I'm out.
Dunzo.
I'll wake up when my wheels touch and I'm good. Like
Even
I
if
can just pass out.
we're the first ones on the plane,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you are in the corner, I always take the aisle because I know, like, well, one, I like the aisle to hang stanky leg. 2, because you are just KO'd as soon as you
Yep.
sit on a plane.
Yep.
It's a God-given gift.
Yeah, I just fell asleep. So I was basically well on my way to falling asleep. And like 10 minutes into boarding, I feel someone tap my arm. And I thought it might have been like someone's bag. So like I waited a minute and then I hear feel the guy tap and foul hits me again. And I like wake and I like look up and some guy's he's like pointing to the middle seat and he's like, I'm gonna sit there. And I'm like, at first I'm like, no, you're not. I'm like, and I look at Val, I'm like so confused. And she's like, and like my wife was not super pleased either, but I'm like, well, no. So I just like unbuckle without even thinking and like just move over to the middle seat. And then like it all hit me. I was so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I was so pissed. I'm like, what the fuck? How am I the only uncomfortable guy on this 2.5 hour plane ride right now? When this motherfucker who was like a C boarder, like didn't pay extra or anything, could have just walked back 10 more rows and been like on the aisle by
Yeah.
himself with no one squeezed, but he had to be in row 4 or whatever.
You're nicer than me. I
Dude,
would
the
have just kept
dude
the headphones on and just
Reeked like
acted like I was
reeked
snoring.
like fucking BO and
Yeah,
booze.
no,
like he had
I would-
not showered in forever. He had 2 or 3 double Jack on the rocks like on the plane ride. Like I was just sitting there like a serial killer staring straight ahead. My wife like tried like, are you okay? And I just like kind of like looked at her. I'm like, just don't right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna. This is how I'm gonna be for the whole plane ride. Just let me deal with it. How I need to internalize this, and that's probably why I'll have a heart attack when I'm 50. Like, we're good with that.
Internalize it. You do.
You know what I mean? Like, and we'll be fine. And then it was just. And I actually, the next plane ride was something that it just Southwest has got to do something. I even tweeted about it. There were 15 people lined up in wheelchairs, right? Ready to get on. Now, by all means, let me make this again. I'm a physical therapist. If you are truly disabled and you need help to get on a plane ride, we had a grandmother we traveled with all the time in a wheelchair. She had one leg, you know, it took extra time.
It took her a minute.
Fine.
Yeah.
Get on the plane early. That's completely fine. I have no problem with that. But when I saw a lady get up from the wheelchair, she gets up and she runs over to the front desk and she's like, I have to go to the bathroom. And she's like, well, we're about to board. It's like, you got to be quick. And she like legit jogs to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then comes back, sits in the wheelchair. And when it's time for early board, she gets up and walks on. I'm like, what, at what point or like what kind of qualifications do you have to put down to be disabled? Like, can I
It's so
say if I
true,
go up
man.
4 flights of stairs, I get out of breath? Like, does that qualify me to get on the plane early? Like, where are we drawing the line here?
Dude.
And it makes people who actually need it makes them look bad.
Yeah, believe me, I hear that or see it all the time, and it's like, I just watched you get up, like stretch at your seat, and then all of a sudden, like you sit down with like a wheelchair. I understand that there are like some disabilities that you can't see,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like people just abuse the power.
Oh, dude, it's just
They
that's what I'm
abuse
saying.
it.
It's
Like,
just- I'm gonna let it go. I'm moving on. Okay, so all right, so let's start with best of the bags.
all
A
right,
little update. So by the time you're listening to this, we're underway in round 2. We're just kind of wrapping this up now. So best of the bags, round 1. It has been a record year so far. We've had now this the round 1, and we're recording Monday night is just kind of wrapping up. We have like 12 hours left on the poll. We're currently sitting at just over 48,000 total votes in the first round.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. Thank you everyone for participating.
yeah.
It's
Love it.
awesome. So 48,000 total votes. It's probably going to be closer to 50 by the time we get to tomorrow. We finally hit the 15,000 follower threshold on Facebook. So
Boom. Let's
how about
go.
that? My goal this year was to try to get to 20. It might be a lofty goal, but if you're not following us on Facebook for some reason, it's definitely our biggest, most popular platform where we post 99%.
Yeah,
of
tell
our-
your
our
family and
stuff.
friends they can follow us and
Yeah,
then just
just follow
mute
us. It
us.
doesn't
They don't
cost
have
anything.
to see anything, so just tell them like, hey, these guys are awesome. Just give them a little follow and then just mute us. That's fine. I'll take it.
So, in overall, there weren't too many major upsets. There were a few like pretty close calls.
Little disappointment in the TCL.
Yeah, early on TCL stuff just didn't catch on. Now
Yeah.
since then, Center Bag's done fine. Big D, I think, is going on right now. They're
Well, Big
handling
D is
business.
ACO now, so
Oh, that's true. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. But like still Texas based. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
lot of those Texas ones. The bag brokers did okay. They got back, but I don't see a TCL company again being popular enough right now to make a run. Like
Yeah.
the fact that the Kratos didn't win in round
Dude.
1, that was a big upset. The fact that Throwing Stones, like two of probably the most popular bag companies in the TCL, both got upset in the first round. It just shows that they are very regional, and that does kind of hurt you a little bit.
It does, 'cause
in a
that
popularity contest like this.
mass appeal. So
100%.
I mean,
So just going through overall the top 10, kind of the power rankings, like as we move on to round 2, who are the companies that are like kind of racking it up? Now, unfortunately, like some of the higher seeds that might be on this list, I was kind of checking them before. It doesn't seem like they would have enough votes to get on. Like companies like Kill Shots is up right now, Cornhole Scenario. They might by tomorrow have enough votes, but just how it's all trending, it seems like they would probably just fall just outside this top 10. All right. So if I'm looking at the list right now, the entire top 10 most popular bag or who got the most votes were all ACL.
yeah.
ACO sits at number 11
Okay.
at that number 11 spot. So number 1, I don't think it's a huge surprise. I was surprised they were number 1 in most votes first round, just because I thought there might have been a little layover effect from winning it last year.
Yeah, usually they just
But BG Cornhole
lay
showed up
back
and showed
on it.
out. They were the only one to cross over the 800 vote threshold in the first round. They had 942 votes in the first round. That's scary for everyone else.
Hell yeah.
That's an opening
Sure
round
is.
against a no-name bag. That's 942 is going to be really tough to beat.
Well, it leads to can the BG hate be strong enough for them to?
And are they hated anymore though? That's what I'm saying. Like if you have if it was Ultra
Yeah,
versus an ACO bag somehow like in the finals, I would say the other bag's going to have a very realistic shot of winning.
the BG's just kind of that they're that cool brand. You know, like you don't want to hate them because
And you got to tip your cap to them. Like
that's
I'm
the
not
hip one.
I've never been a fan of their bags. It's not a secret. But you got to tip the cap to the rebranding that they've done over the last 5 years. It's
They've murdered
remarkable.
it. Yeah, I mean,
Remarkable.
again, they put the bags in the right players' hands. They've maintained success, and I mean, you can't fault them for.
Now you have not
what
seen
they've
this
done.
list.
I have not.
Who would you think is number 2? And I know I'm putting you on the spot. We had 128 bags.
Ultra.
Yes, Ultra was number 2. Ultra was number 2 at 750 votes. Number 3 was actually Brotherhood Cornhole. Had a very solid showing at the time of the poll ending. It had 685. Lucky Bags comes in at number 4 at 625. So those are our top 4, all over 600 votes. Again, like it's first round.
Yeah. I mean,
Are you really going to muster up everything? Like you're not like desperate at this
there's
time.
so many
like,
people that are like, oh, I just voted yesterday. for
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Like,
It's first round. Like they're already up by 100 votes. Like they're going to win anyways. So you have a little bit of that. But then we got to get to like this next tier of, do we think one of these next like 3-4 bags can put it together and actually take down one of these big guys like in the quarterfinals? Like that's what we're going to see. Like that's
true.
where I think some of the upset potential happens. So in 5th place, currently in the top 10, we have Underworld Cornhole, 585.
Okay.
Little self-deprecation, going a long way. They kind of play like the little man, card a lot. Like, woe is me. We can't, afford, the big name sponsors, but like, obviously they make very good bags and they're popular, and the pros that they did cover were out there on Facebook hustling for votes. And that matters, man.
Exactly.
If you
100%.
get your voice behind it, it does matter. So, Underworld Cornhole was in at 585. Sitting at 6th place was Draggin Bags at 572 right there. At 8th place was Fly Cornhole. So we had some questions going into this.
Hey, were they gonna maintain their success? Hey, they answered it in the first round pretty easily.
It's kind of impressive, honestly.
I told you, man. They're kind of there with like, to me, like BG style branding.
Man. They're just not out there as much.
Yeah, they're just a hip brand that people seem to get behind. They have great designs, great bags.
Correct.
I mean, I don't blame people for following them and liking them. They're a great company.
Another one that we had kind of questions that we saw what they did last year, and if they really rally behind, we know how much, so they definitely belong in this tier, was Sub-Zero. They ended up with 550 votes. Very strong first round showing.
Yeah.
There were some questions like, what happens here? Like,
Did they
where
have to
fall
call in
back?
the bot army even for 550? I don't think so.
Yeah. Let's see. The next one up was NOLA Bags with 496 votes. They were just shy of 500. If you go to the poll now, they're well over 500.
Yeah.
By the time of closing, they were just shy of 500. Again, NOLA Bags has that feel like the underdog story this year, that they could really rally the troops and maybe get there.
NOLA has, in the right situation against the right person, they have enough respect in the community that I think they could make a big upset.
Okay, fair enough. The next one was Titan Bags. Titan Bags is right before NOLA. They were at 520.
Okay, yeah. I was wondering where Titan fell.
And Titan is another one. Like, I consider them one of the big boys, and they could very easily, if they really rally the troops, they can probably make a very,
This is
very
the first
deep
year that
run.
we've seen like a really good showing for them
Correct.
in the first round. So,
But like Titan has a tough draw. Like, eventually they're gonna have to face up against like BG.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be
It's
tough.
not easy,
That's
but-
gonna be tough. The number 1 ACO bag in this contest left was CBC.
which I believe is who Mike said would be number 1.
Yeah, they seem like they're the most
Yeah.
popular, and they're the ones that are rounding everyone together in ACO. They're trying to get everyone together.
Getting everyone
There's
to
one that I
vote for
wanted
the
to check
ACO
on
bags.
that I just thought of that I didn't. I just remember I didn't really kind of check to see where they're at. I want to see where AAR finished. I'm trying to remember
Oh yeah,
where
they had a good number too.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. They're definitely going to probably be on this list. Let me just double check. I think I just skipped right past them for some reason, unintentionally.
It happens.
But Lucky Bags, sitting at the 4 seed, it just kind of makes sense. Like, obviously they've won the contest before. It's so hard trying to go through all these. Trying to remember. There we are. No, they might be just outside. Let's see. No, so all right, so they're right in the mix. So they belong with like Underworld and Dragon. They were at like 500. They were like 560. So
Okay.
like right around there. So they were in the same tier. AAR, I said before going into this, like they were like that
They're
company
the
that's
great unknown.
yeah. I just don't know, but again, like
They've been around for a while.
Their popularity, you're seeing them more and more just pouring out, and
They were new
sponsor
to bags last year.
yes, and they
Okay.
sponsor popular players,
Yeah.
and that matters in this game. So again, if they get their player involvement out there and they start, you get somebody out there with a name start pumping out bags, and all of a sudden you have a contest.
I mean, he's I feel like they're just a beloved company in cornhole. You know,
but round one is all about. You're going to see probably 60 bag companies that you've never heard of before.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. And when you come across a bag company, I can't urge you enough, go and follow their page. Stuff like that goes a long way.
For sure, man.
It just goes
again,
a long
you
way.
never know. Like, even if you just like the name of the company and the bags that come up with, you think it's funny or, you know, something you relate to, then give them a follow. Maybe they'll drop a bag that you are really interested in. You just never know.
So I did want to address one thing. I put a post up yesterday, and I was not like in a great mood when I was reading it.
Yeah.
Somebody made a comment on there was a matchup between Crazy 8 and Alpha Bags.
Yeah.
And Alpha Bags, we had discussed it. If you paid attention to the live stream, we had questions on if Alpha Bags was still making bags currently. We did not get that answer up until like the day that we were posting it.
We posted it.
And Alpha Bags actually commented on there saying like you might as well just give it to the other team, or to Crazy 8. Yeah, we're not even making bags anymore. So this guy Tyler decides to comment on like, oh, like real legit bracket, basically like you're having bag companies that don't even make bags.
Yeah.
My first response was like, it doesn't matter. This is not a best of the current bags. This is best of the bags. Nowhere does it say there has to be a current bag company like that is making
100%.
bags.
Yeah.
Enough people have thrown Alpha Bags.
There's a reason why we almost put in the Pro Advantage for Reynolds.
And
the
Alpha
reason why we did the all cornhole.
And Alpha Bags almost won. Like they only lost by like 4 votes.
Exactly. Because
so enough
you
people
can still throw those bags this year.
Yeah, so enough people have thrown those bags and still like them. Like they're still out there enough. It's not like they closed 5 years ago and we're throwing somebody in there. So like just calm
There's
the
probably
cheeks a
plenty
little
of heartbroken people that they can't throw those bags anymore because they make good bags. So they deserve to be in it. And yeah, maybe we'll exclude them next year because we know that they're no longer making them. But the way I see it, if you can still throw them in competition, then it still has a right to be in the company.
Agreed.
Or like in the company of these other companies.
Agreed. All right, let's go ahead and let's do the ACL Open.
Oh, I guess in Reno, the city of.
If you haven't heard yet, I mean,
it was Reno known as.
Mark Richards had one hell of a weekend again. He is currently sitting at, he won singles and doubles. He's currently sitting at number 1 all time with 22 total titles.
Yeah, and it wasn't second place in singles this time. It was the overall champion.
So, okay, so let's go over singles first. So we have Mark Richards was the eventual champion. Overall second place was Zach Aiken, who had himself a weekend. I felt bad because the kid took second in like every event he took in or participated in. So it's just like he's right there, but he's in like rookie of the year is like so up there, and like every time you have the junior brackets, like what junior got hot that day could win the whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it kind of makes it all together. A little bit. Some other names that we've had question marks, kind of, especially recently when we were talking about, I think the last Open that we had in Albuquerque. Gavin Cano, third place so bracket winner, third place overall. Tony Smith, also third place overall. I like seeing those two names up there again. It was the first time I ever had a power ranking where Tony Smith wasn't on the power ranking.
Yeah.
And I just hadn't seen it in singles. Like, we know that they're going to be good in doubles. Like, they're both just too good not to be good in doubles. Like, it's just going to be, it's inevitable. They're going to be a top 5 team, it seems like. But in singles, can Tony Smith still turn it on when he wants to turn it on? The answer is yes. When you win your bracket, you always have a chance to win the whole thing, right? So that's what we've always said. So Tony Smith, it's nice to see him. Gavin Cano, again, just one game away, man. Like, he's so close. And if he can just get over the hump and get that win, I think, again, like, Gavin Cano could just run some shit.
He's very much to me like a confidence guy.
Yeah,
so if
man.
you can just get that one little blip, because we saw it last Open, he got the doubles championship, and then here he is rolling right into singles with confidence.
Yep.
Just get that singles dub, man.
I mean, speaking of Underworld Cornhole, second in the bracket, Landon Crabtree, who's off to a pretty solid start again, man.
Yes.
Like, he does well. Like, he's a sneaky good player, and people, I think, have underestimated him a little
And his
bit.
name's been around for a minute.
Yeah, and
like,
again, he's one of those dudes that
pop up.
We interviewed. I knew nothing about him. I met him at an Open, and we interviewed him. Like, dude, I really like this kid.
For sure.
Like, he's just very well put together. You know what I mean? Like, very polite. Just had like great takes on everything, and is a really talented player. And it's kind of fun to watch because it's like super goofy.
Yes,
Flips the bags, got his little routine down, and just goes. Hayden Gonzalez, another name that you kind of see in the mix all the time. Another junior player. I know he was a Draggin Bag guy for a long time. I think he's now Brotherhood. But Hayden Gonzalez second in the bracket, along with Gio Mora and Adam Hissner. Another name in third in the bracket. The names start to become very familiar. Adam Hissner, Levi Haddock, Nico Morales, and Logan Chamberlain. And Sam Finley. So,
you added in Adam Hissner. He was second in the bracket. third in the bracket.
Oh, I'm sorry,
was
third in the bracket.
Paddock, Morales,
Yep, correct.
Chamberlain, Finley.
So
Great to see Sam up there.
It is.
Like, great showing, Sam. Hell yeah. Like third in the bracket.
Frank Modlin taking fourth in the bracket. It's nice to kind of see like some mix in there. So it's been very nice.
Yeah, I mean, they had a nice showing out in Reno.
I do want to give a shout out to fifth in the bracket, Dylan, our boy from Arizona.
Hell yeah, man.
Great mustache, super dude. Shout out. I've thrown against him. He's very talented. Other names that I think we need to start paying attention. Richard Nyberg. I'm seeing everywhere, all over Facebook, putting up content, performing well. Like at like every tournament, I'm seeing him now. Like he might be somebody we need to get on the show soon.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
He's been all over social media. His performance has been
Great
really
last
good right
name.
now. Yeah,
Nyberg.
it's great.
Like,
For
original.
sure. For sure. All right. So over in doubles,
Doubles.
Tony Smith and Mark Richards take it down over Zach Aiken and Tony Forbes. Again, like it's just a hell of a
Sucks
match.
for Aiken, great for Smith and Richards. Like, had themselves a weekend.
We have a Hunter Thorne sighting, which is kind of exciting to see.
The Hunters.
Hunter Thorne and Hunter Thorson. It's like they had to have done that on purpose, right?
Is their
Like,
name just Team Hunter Thornson?
right?
Right? Can they just like change it and just
Hunter
make
squared?
it what? Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Hunters.
Second in the bracket, Adam Hister, Trey Birchfield, trending in the right direction. We kind of wanted to see this sooner rather than later.
And we're seeing it now.
Yep,
so
correct.
happy to see it.
Gavin Hammond and Jackson Remick, two very talented college level players. They were probably the most highly recruited college players, I would say, at the time, like coming out of Colorado. Just very, very talented dudes. In doubles, they've kind of been like that next team that could kind of burst through and maybe make a run.
But they're in college right now, correct?
Correct.
Like they're in the college level. So
Correct. They can play in open stuff like this. Third in the bracket, no surprise, Justin Burton Jr., Logan Chamberlain continuing their success together. New names, Asher Plummer and Donovan Vasquez.
There's the one team name that I was like, man, I don't think I'd have heard. Maybe Vasquez I've heard in the past.
Yeah. But
Asher Plummer, though, like, great name.
No, for sure. Asher Plummer, yeah, for sure. It's like quite possibly the best. So let's go down to women's.
Just one shout out. I just wanted to get fifth in the bracket. Jordan Camba and Easy. Love to see it.
You do.
Love to see it. What am I pulling up here?
Women's.
Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
On day one stuff.
Keep scrolling. There we
So
go.
women's singles, Elizabeth Tennyson takes down Sam Finley. Michaela Calvey, another name that if you followed Cornhole for the last few years, she kind of came up through the junior ranks. Very good female player. I think she's a rookie this year.
I think so. Yeah.
But very, very solid player. She takes third place. Fourth place, Bella is back in the room. Fifth place, Kimberly Broman and also Caitlin Allshouse. Women's doubles, Sam Finley and Elizabeth Tennyson take down Cameron Belvin and Linda Ford. So Linda Ford, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Former. And then junior singles, we had Zach Aiken taking down Tony Forbes, Joey Forbes taking third, Asher Plummer taking fourth, Hayden Gonzalez and Ethan Farias tying for fifth.
All right, so Asher Plummer's junior.
For sure.
And Aiken he got one done.
He did get one done.
So
Yep.
that,
Which is,
that
I
helps.
thought I could have sworn he put second on all of his stuff. Or somebody made a post where he took second on all this, but so that's my
They
mistake.
must have missed that one, but that's okay.
All right, so the dramatic readings I had weren't like crazy good this week, so
Okay.
I'm gonna hold him
You just want to skip it?
yeah, because we're gonna have Jeremiah on. I'm interested to kind of see where he's at in life, man. Like again, we talk a lot behind the scenes, and I
Yes.
think it's important for people to understand. Like, I want to hear how this is all affecting.
Not
him,
all
right?
not all pros are all cornhole all
Dude,
the time. Like,
he's
they
going
just
through
can't
like
do
what
it.
I think a lot of like professional like athletes go through.
Yeah.
Especially like in individual sports like golf and name the sport, right?
Hit that success.
Yeah,
and then
you kind of fade, and then
Yeah.
you're searching for it again, and you're just kind of chasing it. Like, can he get back to that level? I think we've all seen like he's definitely talented enough
for sure.
to do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain levels. Like, are you going to be Phil Mickelson, where you just have resurgence,
For sure.
or are you going to be like, who's a good golf comparison? Let's go with Zach Johnson.
I guess.
Right?
Yeah,
Just never quite
but
got back there.
Yeah. I've never been as
Neither
huge
am I. That's kind of what I'm
Zach
throwing out
Johnson.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We felt the same
Well,
way about that.
I'll think on that one. But yeah. So,
David Duval.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you want to cue the rap horn?
Do I ever?
You can reach us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Big Ass Cornhole.
You didn't mention Facebook because that's the Big Ass Cornhole podcast. Thanks again to Draggin Bags. You guys are awesome. Charlie's will be available again soon, maybe with a really cool design.
But any other series is only $60.
Exactly.
Right now.
So now's the time to go grab some, and better yet, $60, save yourself 12% more by dropping code BIGASP12 at checkout to save yourself money. So just do it.
Win-win.
Yes. Win-win-win. Win-win.
Win-win. How about
Times
that?
6.
And theoretically, I've heard a rumor that March 1st, our collab bags might be dropping. So be on the lookout for that. Patreon, if you want to support the show, we would greatly appreciate it. You can do so at patreon.com/bigasscornhole. And for the price of beer a month, you can get bonus content. We post the videos of all of our episodes and interviews on Patreon.
So you can
it's
see
kind
our
of
ugly mugs.
the most accessible way. We're going to be having a happy hour. I think we're going to try to do it this next weekend.
Sure.
I think,
Let's do it.
yeah, just timing wise, it seems like it's going to be good. Yeah, and then we're going to be doing more live events coming up with Mike's Bag, going over Best of the Bags. It seemed like it was a success.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing it, so we're going to do that as we kind of progress through all that stuff. But hope you guys enjoy the content. Hope you guys enjoy the interview and have a killer week. And as always, we hope you throw it straight. And it's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later. All right, welcome back to the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. And now listen, I know you guys are expecting right now to get Jeremiah Ellis. All right. But something happened, and we were thinking, we're sitting here, we're like, Jeremiah was just about to come on. We're like, no, fuck Jeremiah. There's somebody way better on.
Yeah.
He's left-handed. He's also Team Big Asp. He's one of our favorite dudes. So, Mike Hoffman, what's going on, man?
He also has no life at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're being honest, like Jeremiah had an emergency. He wasn't able to make it tonight. I wasn't able to make it last night, but neither was Jeremiah because he was at a blind draw till like 2 a.m.
And I'm just sitting here like, who else can join me?
Yes.
Mike.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, yeah, we're like, who else is like could be bored at 9:30 or not in bed? And I'm like, all right, Hoffman's always up. Let's do this.
I'm happy to fill in.
Hell yeah! So what's new? What's
way
what's
better
new?
looking. So thank you first off.
Yeah, correct.
Much
yeah,
easier
correct.
to look at.
Correct. Very true. Very true. So what's new and exciting, man?
Nothing. A lot of work. A lot of like work. Just work outside of cornhole, but been playing at blind draws and throwing out back every day that I can. Just trying to stay busy, but.
Okay.
Hey, just normal, pretty normal. It's kind of a lull right now because the opens are all out in the West, and
Yeah.
With everything coming up, starting up when the pro season starts, it's like it's not even a consideration going out to like Reno right now when we're gonna be traveling every 2 weeks starting in May.
Yeah, these are the young gun times. Yeah, I mean, this is when all the juniors start kicking ass and like starting to get their feeling, and yeah, as it ramps up. Because first signature is April.
Well, the first weekend in April.
Okay, all right. Okay,
4th or something like that in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, yeah. So gearing up for that. So, how you liking the new bags this year?
I was struggling at first to get them broken in. But I really like I'm throwing a different style of bag. I've always thrown, kind of like that pro sniper type of bag, whether cats, the 1 year Gladiator, I was throwing the Havocs. I'm sponsored by Logic this year.
Yeah.
They've been really, and I've really taken to a couple sets of bags that they have that's completely different from what I've, historically thrown. So they throw the Logic Zincs. They're probably like, the BG version. I don't even know. I'm not very good at,
Is it herringbone? Is it like the herring? Okay, herringbone carpet. Okay.
Yeah, but it has the potential to get sticky. Like when, I've been in tournaments where, it's sliding, at the beginning of the tournament, but, as the temperature maybe has changed or, it's gotten warmer in the building, they've slowed up.
Yeah.
But they've slowed up to where they stop or they're hard to push. They're really great. And I'll let you know, I've started to roll, which is
my God.
What?
Wow. No longer a young man's game. What's up?
That's right. I'll be 50 in March. So I might be the oldest guy this year, like throwing a roll bag.
That would be kind of sweet. Like, do you like getting it consistent, or you're just like?
It's getting more consistent. Like, it's something I won't do a lot, like in a game, especially this year. But I definitely will try it.
Can we? All right. So we have a roll king on our team.
Oh yeah.
Can we make you roll daddy?
Yeah, roll pops.
Roll
pops. Oh, I like that. Yeah, roll pops.
No, but it's actually it makes practice a lot more fun because I've been just like trying to throw it over and over, and I don't know what it was. It was kind of it's like I got it once and then, was able to kind of find it more and more, to where I feel like I can probably throw it about half the time. I mean, not a full roll, but at least
I get what you're saying.
Like I'm trying to throw it,
Correct.
Yeah.
before I put it all.
I mean, honestly, if you can just get that one flop over, to me, that's almost the best one that you could do. Just get on top of bags. I know that there's like the penguin shot and all this stuff out there, but how often are people hitting that?
Yeah,
Everyone tries. It's just a bait shot.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they're just going to nudge you in. Give you that little help.
The seal gets a penguin every once in a while, but no one talks about all the penguins that get away.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly. Yeah, that one penguin was like, little off.
chubby.
Yeah,
correct.
had a little fin.
Yeah.
Cause just swimming in a circle.
The fact that
couldn't figure out why. Yeah. That's
good. Holy shit.
National Graphic or something today.
So all right. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was, have you guys been paying attention to like the different formats for all the All-Star games? It just seems like everyone's kind of changing up their formats.
Yeah, they're all
and
just
stuff.
kind of switching stuff up.
So what did you think? Like, did you get to watch? Like, I know you watched some of the basketball. What did you think of it?
Hated every second of it. It's just the NBA All-Star game to me is just a fraction higher than the NFL Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, like those two are definitely bottom of the barrel.
Correct.
NHL, love.
Yes.
I think, you know why? Because hockey players do it for different reasons.
Yep.
They're out there for pride of country in the middle of the season just because they can. Like, it's awesome. They love playing hockey. So
Yeah.
I love watching it. Like, I think they've done a great job. So that's climbed the ranks for me quickly.
No, I completely agree. I think that the NBA All-Star stuff used to be awesome when the dunk contest and the 3-point contest mattered. I didn't give a shit who won. But then again, like, it was also a different generation. Like, when you had Jordan and all those guys in, like, they didn't want to fucking lose.
No.
So, like, you did have some competitive games. And then we get, like, the fluff of whatever the 2010s.
Now they're like,
and
let's
everything.
put on a show. It's like, it's not a show.
No.
I understand you guys can dunk.
Yeah.
You're really tall.
There's a reason that NFL is the most popular, because we want to see gladiators. We want to see giant human beings destroying each other in an
take
arena.
their pads off and then just let them run
I don't
want
to see how high you can jump and, like, as your buddy's lobbing you the ball. Like, I don't care. Like, I want to see you play some
you got a
defense
whole season of recovery. Just go out there and leave it on the field for the Pro Bowl. Let's go.
Yeah, but hockey is at an unfair advantage because, like, how it was explained to me is, like, these guys are already competing against each other and, like, in juniors. And, like, that's all, like, USA, like, it's all country based.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys are already, like, hey, like, USA, Canada are huge rivals and stuff
For
like
sure,
that. So
yeah.
this
I mean,
just kind of matters.
It's a lob up for them.
But, like, yeah, like, if they tried to do that in the NBA, though, I don't think it's going to be, it would be as, I mean, they tried kind of this year.
Yeah, it was, but the whole 40-point thing I was not a fan of, and it was just weird. But, I mean, takes the cake still for me, and forever will, baseball.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, but the home run derby, is there not a better, I think it's the best all-star event of any sport. It's always fun.
Yeah, all right.
The All-Star game is the best.
Yes.
For sure.
And probably hockey is right there too, but yeah, NBA's gotten to become a joke. I didn't even watch it this year. I saw that they did something like Shaq's team versus somebody else's team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had 4 teams. So now just everyone can be an all-star, apparently. Seriously, there's like 25 all-stars. Like, what the hell's the point?
Yeah, it's not even an exclusive club.
Actually, I was watching the Daytona 500, which went on like late in the night.
Shout out to Frankie Muniz. Like, didn't he take like top 10 or something like that?
Who's that?
Frankie, isn't it Muniz?
Oh, yeah, the kid, he was like on a TV show or something.
Yeah. Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle, Mike.
That should have been in your wheelhouse. Like, you're when you're, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Back at the end, so as long as you were, still in a car that worked, you probably were, top 10 or top 15.
And that's all that matters. Yeah, I mean, there's no pictures on the scorecard kind of thing.
Very true.
For sure. What's the weather like out for you guys?
Well, I'm in Maryland. It's been pretty cold, but
Okay.
we're supposed to get a snowstorm that's coming through, I think, tomorrow night.
Oh,
Fun.
Some like Virginia and southern Maryland. So
the last one missed you.
yeah. We got like a solid like 8 inches, I want to say.
Yeah.
Saturday was it or Sunday? It was Sunday when I got home. Yeah, it was crazy. It was just too much snow. I'm so sick of fucking snow.
So am I.
Makes me want to move so bad.
And I missed it for 3 years. And now I'm like, why did I ever miss this?
Yeah,
Like,
totally. Yeah,
fuck the winter. I'm sick of it. Like, let's go back to the warm days.
Yeah, correct. I'm about to go outside with some hairspray or something. Like, it always baffles me when everyone's worried about global warming. Like, why are we worried about every place being like 70 and tropical? Like, you know what I mean?
that's
Like, whoa,
not-
that's so scary.
It's
You
not
know
what
what I mean?
true
Like,
like global warming.
like, why are
is,
we?
though, Sean.
We should be
You know
worried
that.
about like global cooling, though, right? Like, I would hate if it's like this all the time and gets like nasty cold. Like, fuck that. Like, that would be terrible. Like, I'm all 470 everywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, global warming can also lead to more extremes.
that's what they
You
say.
know, so
That's what
you know,
they say.
We'll see.
It's all simulation, anyways, right, folks?
It's very true. What do you think, Mike? Are we living in a simulation?
Me and Dane were getting in a very deep conversation before Jeremiah was supposed to be on this. So.
Yeah, no, I have no idea. But now we have planes flipping over and stuff.
Dude,
like
that's
that.
it's what is going on, man. This is I know I'm a little I never get nervous about flying ever. I was a little nervous flying back this time, and the turbulence was the worst I've ever felt in my life this last time. And like again, like I've flown all over the world, like it doesn't bother me ever. But this one had me gripping my seat a little bit. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like what the fuck is going on right now?
So windy like the last couple. I'm not surprised like what happened up there. I mean, it just I know I don't mind flying, but I don't like turbulence either. And we're gonna between work and the Nationals, I'll be flying a bunch. So I hope everything fills out.
You hope that like at least some reform is made out of whatever tragedies happened. You know what I mean? Like some major, like, because what they say there was like over 1,000 close call like air collisions last year. It's like, whoa, like what? Like, like one seems like it's too many. So like 1,000 seems like you just keep fucking up and not trying to fix
Like,
it. So,
there's millions of flights though.
Yeah,
I feel like
correct.
chances are I was on one of those 1,000 maybe if you fly,
My
you know,
God.
a couple times in a year. That's
Do you think Cornhole could ever have some sort of like an all-star festivities type thing? Like I know they've tried it at Worlds, like they had like the trick shot competition and stuff, but like could they theoretically have like an all-star team?
no.
You don't think they couldn't do like some sort of like, even if it's just like one match kind of on for like a live stream?
Yeah, no.
You don't think people would tune in?
I mean, they can try, but are people just watching Cornhole at all anyways?
I think so. Yeah, I think if they know it's going to be on, I think they would watch. I mean, people talked about us talking about a bag bracket.
I mean, again, I think there's cornhole enthusiasts out there that would possibly tune in, but I don't know how you judge it. Like, you already have like, do you just have like the top finishers?
That's what I was kind of thinking. I think you could theoretically have whoever's like the top in the league at the time.
Don't they already
And then you
do
could
that,
also
though?
open up against a team that like fans are voting in players.
So, Mike, didn't they do that last year?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't know.
I know they had a trick shot competition, like
Yeah.
at Worlds or something. But again, you could do stuff like that. I don't know. I was just trying to. I know I'm grasping for straws, but just trying something.
You are. Let's get back to the simulation.
Well, I was getting kind of along the same thing of like hockey and like they're changing and going the country wise. Like, there's a reason like Ryder Cup is the best in golf. It's just
for
because
sure.
like, you know, like the guys actually give a shit. I think it would be really cool when we get to a level in cornhole where we actually have some competition.
Yeah, internationally
You know
would
what I mean?
be
Like where you actually
ideal, and
Yeah,
it's
correct.
a sport that it could catch on quickly. It is catching on quickly.
Yeah, correct. And
So, but to me, like the all-star thing that we're dreaming of, in my mind, would be just the Olympics.
yeah, because we got to remember, like in other countries where it's just starting off, they're like all the guys like Matt Guy was like 20 years ago when they start playing.
Yeah.
Like that's who's involved in it. Like it's basically older white guys, right? Like just older white guys going into leagues and they're having fun and doing it. It hasn't caught on in like the youth aspect over there yet. And that's when we can see like it kind of takes us to new heights. Because all the old guys, if they want to stay relevant, got to learn a roll bag, right, Mike?
Yeah, that's what a lot of the old guys are doing these days. But I think that it's taken that'll take a long time, I think, for other places to catch up. I definitely think like like an all-star weekend or whatever is possible. I mean, it would just be a made for TV, type of event.
Yeah, correct.
They invited. And I think the bigger problem is, and I've kind of held this for a little while, this opinion, is with the broadcast, just the way it's all set up. Do you remember, like I mentioned, we were talking earlier, that when Brett Guy hit that, it was Brett Guy hit that shot.
Correct.
Like, if you go back and watch that, like the crowd was basically on
top.
floor.
I loved it.
And it was awesome. I mean, players were, they were giving high fives. I mean, you know what I mean? They were almost in
Correct.
the crowd. Like, right now, it just seems way too sterile, way too off. The billboards are 8 feet high. Like, I mean, I think they should bring the announcer's booth up to the court. the people in. I mean, I think they need to pack it in and make it look like.
I could be wrong, but when Brett Guy hit that shot, was that on ESPN3? Like, was that just a streamed ESPN thing, or was it on ESPN2?
I thought it was on ESPN too.
Because the only reason I'm bringing that up is if it was a streamed thing, then they don't quite need the setup. Like, you can make it smaller. I think they have to keep it a certain size, like just for like this, like the TV, like the camera, like everything kind of moving around. I think that's the only reason it probably is, because it looks so much better on TV though when they're all on top.
Right. I think it was well before they even had like the current setup with the flooring and everything like that. I mean, if they're worried about advertisements, they got that whole floor. They could stick advertisements on, just do different camera angles, things like that. Actually, on the live streams that they have on TV, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to sit behind the courts.
Yeah.
Regular live, so you can't see.
You can't see it.
No.
So you're watching the TV, so every time the camera pans to you, you're just like,
Yeah, watch.
staring off into the distance, not even paying attention to him.
not
sure.
fan friendly at all. And I know they got to get the advertisers in there, because that's why they're doing
Well,
it.
they already plaster one on your guy's chest. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I
There
mean,
you go.
And honestly, Mike, like, you can just have a green spot on the floor, like you were saying, and just put that in digitally, like in the moment. They do it all over every ad that you see on TV for the MLB, everything. Those things don't just magically change back there. That's just
Exactly.
a green screen.
I think just bringing the people. I mean, I was at actually that Vegas event where he hit that, and I mean that was such an event getting there, and all they did was just pull in like bleachers,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I mean, there was just a lot of energy and a lot of excitement. It's a lot what I think is missing right now. I think it's partially because we've seen it before, but it's just the whole thing. I think needs to kind of be revamped. To just draw some more excitement into it.
Well, you had mentioned like bringing the like announcers like closer. Do you think it's a good idea to allow the announcers to speak freely about shots in front of these players right in the middle of the game? Because I would love that opportunity to be like, oh, you botched that one. You just stare right at them. It's like, man.
Hey, these are professionals. They should be-
Is it too early?
But
Okay.
why? Why do they have to be professional? It's cornhole.
Is it
We can
too,
ham it up.
Is it too early to just admit defeat here? Like, if you're cornhole, right? Like, it's not. It's just. I know we keep trying to come up with all these different solutions. It's just not a spectator sport. It's a participation sport.
It is. Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same argument I was making to somebody at work today about golf, right? I think golf, even if they combine leagues right now, the best, like right now, if you bring some of the best players from Live and they're allowed to compete in, maybe you have a 3% chance instead of a 0% chance that one of those, like they're going to have up two of those guys are going to end up on Sunday, final pair. It's going to come down to the wire. Maybe it'll boost ratings. But for the most part, if I had a choice and you wake me up in the morning, be like, hey, you get to go play 18 holes or you can sit here and watch golf. Which one are you doing? You're going to go fucking play every single time.
I want to go play.
You're going to go play every fucking time. And then guess what? When you get to play, most of us, I don't get to come home and watch golf. Fuck no. You think I'm going to just,
You're mowing the lawn.
Oh, mowing the
You're
lawn,
cooking
Disney's
dinner.
on. Yeah, there's no way. Like, there's not, like, I have zero. So I think cornhole's kind of in that realm where I think we need to stop caring so much about how many people like are watching it and trying to bring in like new people into it, because like there's enough of us that already care about it.
And
Like, it's already
grown-
really big, and
it's
you can just
grown
keep
so
doing it
much
organically
word of
without
mouth.
trying to make this like this production on ESPN.
Yeah.
I think it served its purpose. It showed that, hey, you're a legitimate league, 100%. You are the established body of cornhole. There's really no competition. Like, this is not taking a shot at ACO at all. I'm not. Like, I think that they are a very good league, but ACL is clearly the top dog right now when it comes to that. I don't think that there's really anything else. Like, I think we're trying to like pretty this up, and it's just never going to be. Maybe this is as big as it gets, and if that's okay, are we all okay with that? Like, I'm okay. I mean, I think it's still good. I mean, obviously we have a fucking podcast about
It's fun.
it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's still fun. Like, I don't think it's ever going to get this massive thing where we're getting like millions of viewers at a time. It's just not going to happen.
You're talking about like growing the sport. I'm talking about me sitting there because I'm one of those guys that is already going to watch it.
Yeah.
And like, what is more fun as I'm watching, cornhole, like the way it is right now, like on TV, or what maybe it could be to make it. And I think it would also grow viewers if it just looked crazier. I don't know. Like, yeah, I even think like going to like I don't know how possible any of this stuff is, but going to a place where people already are, they've done that a couple times. Like
Yes.
what they did at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. You know, like
100%.
you don't have fans, and it just looks like it's more, you know, a lot more going on, and you know, a lot more.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I know it's a big selling point, especially for these players to go out to sponsors, be like, hey, your brand could get on ESPN. Like, I get that. I 100% get that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that maybe we just need to recognize that it's probably not going to get any bigger. So instead of trying to appease the product for like the average viewer, maybe we should just appease it for the losers that already like it. Like,
Exactly.
if you want me to keep supporting it, because if he keeps going in this direction, maybe I'm just going to be done. And you're not gonna be able to replace. At some point, you're gonna stop having more replacements than people leaving. I don't know. That's my opinion, at least.
I think it's a common man sport. Well, just keep it what it is.
What's that?
We've had some fun talking about how like some of the teams events ended up last year.
Oh, dude.
Like some that were really good and really fun, and then
Yes.
there were other, like, you know, this you know, wasn't as exciting. Not because of the play, just because of the you know, there wasn't. It didn't seem like anybody cared there.
I don't think I ever got to ask your opinion like on the podcast. What did you think of the whole Nate Voyer? Like, were you, because it seemed like there was a very firm line in the sand. You were either for or against it. What side were you on?
Yeah, so I mean, I didn't, and Nate's my buddy, so
Of course,
I,
yeah.
You know, and I know Nate's a little quirky and, you know, and stuff like that. And I get what he was trying to do, you know,
Yeah.
trying to, you know, kind of make it interesting and have fun with it. At the time, I know Anthony, the tall young kid,
Yeah, correct.
who looks like, you know,
I mean,
who looks like he's 32, but
Correct.
he's really 16 in high school or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
And you're like, you pick cornhole.
I know. Hey,
Like,
Yeah.
good for him. God bless him.
I mean, he should have chose between basketball.
Jesus
and
Christ. I mean,
football.
God. I'd be like, just go get fat, and you're gonna like, you can get a scholarship to go play football somewhere.
Yep.
Like, you already have the size. Like, just go. Like, but anyways,
No kidding. So he, so I kind of thought, like, you know, maybe there was a little bit of showing up at Anthony, you know, at the time. And,
Yeah.
and Anthony, he's not technically local to me. He's Virginia. He's, you know, our conference, but he's a nice kid.
Yeah, he is.
You know, but I didn't know him as well then, but I know, like, he could take it. And he, you know, after knowing him better, it didn't bother him.
no, yeah,
Whatsoever. But I, you know, if you're asking, like, is it the whole, like, you know, embarrassing the game, you know, type of argument? I really don't see it necessarily that way.
yeah,
I thought some of it was dumb, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
In a loving way to Nate, because, you know, he is
of
a buddy
course. I mean, and honestly, how many people are like, when you tell them like, "Oh, I'm a professional cornhole player," they're like, "That's so cool."
yeah.
A lot of people are like, "Oh, really?"
What?
You know what I mean? Like, we still have that stigma a little bit.
What
And
did you
same thing-
just?
listen?
What word just came out of your
All
mouth?
weekend, we were at this conference in Houston, right? We were going there for a physical therapy conference, but I was with my wife's coworkers and her bosses, and they were like, "Hey, your wife said like you have a podcast. Like, what's it about?" And every time I'm like, "God damn it." Have you ever played the backyard sport cornhole? They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, it's we kind of cover like the professional side and talk about it. They're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, and they're like, and you travel for this? I'm like, "Yeah, believe it or not, yeah, it does. I know it's crazy, but it's like, yeah, we do." So I'm like, I'm sure it's like the pros. It's like the same exact questions, just worded a little bit differently. Only you could say like, "No, I win money doing it."
I just say sports. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, sports.
yeah. What's your podcast about? Sports. Yeah. Sports. Athletics.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Top tier athletes in today's world.
Yes, for sure.
Do you guys, and I know you guys have talked about this, do you like the idea, and I want to hear like what you think the benefits are of the field shrinking? And I don't even, to be honest with you, this is one of the other things that I struggle with, is really keeping up with what even is supposed to happen next year, you know, as far as it's 100 players, but, you know, there's so many of this or so many of that, or the women are over here, the seniors are over here. Like, with the league shrinking, what are your overall thoughts on that? The pro division shrinking.
I think it gives every individual pro more marketability. But again, you're still going to have like the senior division, women's division, junior division. Then there's going to be just 100 flat pros. Now you can be a women's pro and a pro.
Okay.
And you can also just be a women's pro. So they'll have like different tiers of I think, qualification for those based on this season's rankings and stuff, and maybe their own individual qualifiers. I don't think anything like that's been established. But as far as the pro field shrinking, the only reason I'm for it is, one, less names for us to remember. It's going to be a huge help. And then two, like I said, the marketability for the individual pro. There's pros even in this season that I have never heard their name before. And we've been doing this for a while. I think that's a problem. Like when we cover it actively and you shrink it down, then they should become household names a little easier, I think. And then I think it also, on the ACL pro side, I think it launches that elite level to be a little more, I guess, like alluring to more people to buy into, to get the chance to go qualify for nationals and stuff.
Right. Do you think, before I got into the pro, the whole, I played ACL like to get into the pro division. Like was, so will that could that be discouraging because it's harder to get in?
Yes.
Into it?
I think
you're going to have two sides to it.
Memberships or not encourage elite memberships. I don't know.
I think you're going to have a bunch of people that are gung-ho at the chance of, hey, I don't have to be a pro, but I'm still good enough to compete against them. So when it comes to my neck of the woods, I'm going to buy this elite membership just to go play in that one, like go qualify for that one national and try to win it.
If I'm the ACL, if I'm sitting in there, I think when they have their meeting, I think that when this idea was proposed, they're like, listen, we try it. If it doesn't work, we can always fall back, and we're going to probably settle right where we were before. We can always open the pro field up again. Like, what I mean? We can do that again if they need it. I go back and forth on this one because I think if you shrink the pro field, then there's a true opportunity for maybe those 100 players to like really be able to do this full time. But when that comes, it's not just, you don't just get to go throw a bag full time for a living. That means you are then an ambassador for the game, and part of your job is going to be to go out there and try to get more people to get involved in this game.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do this full time, like you have to, like, that's part of the gig. I would think it has to go to, but I worry that there's going to be this massive trickle down effect. I think that there's going to be a lot of people that didn't requalify this year, and instead of joining elite, they're just gonna go to advanced, and then advanced is just going to be fucking stacked, and all the people that should be advanced but they're not winning anything anymore, going to go to competitive. And all of a sudden, we're going to get competitive now averaging like a 9.8. And then the people that should be competitive are going to go down to intermediate. And we're going to have an intermediate division. You have to be over a 9 to compete. And then it's going to scare away all the new players. Like, you're just going to have to be too good too fast. So I worry a little bit about that.
And I think there's a trickle-down effect to other leagues, too. I think a lot of those guys are going to move over to the ACO, and you're going to see that exact same trickle-down effect happen from top to bottom in the ACO too. And part of me thinks, like, if in my heart do I think that this is as big as it's going to get a little bit. So I think part of it's like, well, if this is as big as it's going to get, maybe we keep it at 250 pros. You know what I mean? Like, what's it hurting? I mean, if 250 people want to go out and try to compete and win a world championship every year, all right, yeah, that's fine. There should still be some qualification process every year, but I'm okay keeping the field bigger. I think it does make it exciting because we do have the same like group of names winning, but like there's a reason Jeremiah winning back to back, like it hadn't been done before in singles. Like, no, doubles, it's, people have gone on runs, but singles, like, it tends to kind of jump around. So I don't know. It's just I guess I reserve my right. I know this is a cop out, but like I want to see what the ACL does with it. They haven't told us yet. Like, what? Okay, you're cutting us down, but like what happens with teams? Like what's going to be happening next year? I think for the average person trying to follow it, you're going to have no fucking clue. Like, okay, you have 100 pros, but she's not one of the, but she's also a pro, but she's just in a women's pro division. Okay, but this one can play in both. Like, it's going to be very difficult to follow. It will be.
I don't know.
I think, so 250 pros, like, realistically, could 250 pros win a tournament? No.
100%. No.
But you had, like, Kenzie Beach last year.
Yep.
Last year, come from, like, he was ranked 200th.
Yeah.
Now, he's not a 200th player.
No.
He made a great run and I think got to, like, the final four, the final two. I don't know what it was. He won maybe his bracket in one of the pro events. Like, you won't see something like that. I'll tell you from personal, like, experience, I've made good runs. Like I won a bracket at an Open in Virginia last year, and I got third in a pro singles event, like third in my bracket. But I'm gonna be. It's gonna be tough for me to qualify. This year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll be hopefully, on the cusp. One side or the other. If I continue like the way I have the last couple of years, so it shrinking. I don't know. It's a concern. Like, okay, will I be able to make it back because I want to? But I'll tell you, if I don't, I probably would get the elite just because I don't feel like playing at a different level of competition. If you know what I mean? Like, I want to. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Do you think you're the majority, or do you think you're in the minority there?
I know people that didn't qualify this year. I don't think many of them went with elite. It was almost like
they're making all their money in ACO and like in advanced division.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, and I'll go to some tournaments and guys that you guys know their names. Like they'll be playing in advance. Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what I'm gonna be like. All right, just put me in an intermediate now.
Like this one's it says open.
Yeah, correct.
So like you should play in that.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. We got to get through this year first. But it like everybody says it every year. Like the competition's getting really good. Like that little kid Zach Aiken.
Yeah, God damn,
where'd he come from?
Well, and then you have like Cash Chamness. Like he's fucking 8. Like he's a year older than my daughter. Like I cannot when I think about that, I can't even fucking fathom. Like, seriously, it baffles me.
I've seen my daughter throw a cornhole bag.
Oh my God. Just like, oh my God. Even the kid next door, he's 2 years older than my daughter. And I'm like, you're a year older than this kid. That's like,
and like you can't throw a cornhole bag like him.
It's just crazy. But yeah, I don't know.
I couldn't see myself going back to ACO. Like, either, I don't know. There's almost like picking a side. Of things, I don't know. I've been with the ACL for so long that I probably would just fork over the elite money, but hopefully you don't have to.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be interesting. I want to see how teams goes this year because I think that the format change makes teams potentially much more exciting. But again, like you had all this hype behind the draft. And you're changing the format, and there were trades everywhere, and there was new names getting drafted. It was kind of fun, right? Mm-hmm. And then fucking nothing for like 4 straight months. Like no idea what's going on. Like just no promote. And that's the kind of shit that bothers me. They do such a good job in one end, but then they let it just disappear. And then by the time they bring it up, like the website's not updated. You know what I mean? Like it's always something. Yeah. Like you just gotta if we should care about it. Act like you guys fucking care about it.
Yeah, there's no promotion from any of the teams like Facebook pages.
We
or
do
anything
more
either.
posts about fucking ACL teams shit than they do. Like it's baffling to me. Like what the fuck? But you want us to care about it. Like and they want you guys to care about it. At least you guys make money off it.
Yeah. The I don't think there's anything on the website yet. There has been some talk like on they used to be on Facebook, but now it's on some other app where they are talking about different ways of the players, different ways of kind of, building rivalries, talking smack, shit like that.
It can't be inorganic though. You know what I mean? Like it's like, cause we'll see like you see through that a little bit, but
sure.
like if you want, like I think
because no cornhole players are winning Oscars.
Shermer Horn's very good at it. Every once in a while he sees someone make a post and he'll just comment from the Marauders page, just something funny, just like real casual,
just a little jab.
That's how it starts though. You know what I mean? Like just kind of going back and forth like that. But yeah, I don't know. I hope it gets good. I just want the competition to be good this year.
I'm sure it will be. I don't know. Whenever they match them up, it's like you don't know which team's going to win usually.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. You want to pull some cards?
Sure, fun. I can pull a card.
Let's just have some fun.
See what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
I don't know what these are. Maybe we've done these recently.
We got to get out and golf, by the way.
All right.
I'll hit it around with you guys.
We're thinking about doing like a little golf. We'll talk to you about this after. We can kind of talk about it here.
Yeah.
If there's anyone listening to this and you guys you like golf, you like cornhole, we're going to try to do like this like guys retreat thing. And we're thinking it's going to be in New Kirk. Is that place?
Yeah,
Right?
I was thinking like Holiday Valley.
Holiday
I'm
Valley.
thinking.
Super affordable. I think it's like $2,800 and 4 people can stay per room. So, you're looking at like $700 covers lodging and golf. And then, you can bring your own alcohol there. So we're thinking about doing that like end of September.
Yeah, it's a full resort too. So
Yeah.
There's
for sure.
nice amenities right there.
Do you bring your clubs when you go to Delaware? Don't go.
I'm not going this year.
I don't go.
Yeah, I'm not going this year. So we're going to Cape Cod only this year because my wife has it in her head that like we can only do one beach vacation now because like the kids are in school, even though we're going to Cape Cod for 2 weeks. So
It's just twice as long beach vacation.
yeah,
It's
correct.
fine.
So
fine.
yeah, I'll go back out there next year, but I typically don't. But if we're going to Bethany Beach for 2 weeks, yeah, I would definitely bring them. I would find room.
Well, that's not far from me.
Okay. I mean, we can just find a reason to go out there.
It's very true.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, like, we have a podcast. You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to get content.
You got a Wednesday night blind draw? All right.
Yeah,
We'll see you.
darn.
All right.
Yeah, this
Damn
is
it,
what-
we
yeah.
have to go, guys.
All 12 people there want to hear.
All right, Sean. I want your answer first to this question.
Okay.
How long would you last on the run after robbing a bank?
Do I have a car?
You heard the question. Build your own scenario.
I mean, I feel pretty confident. I've seen like enough shit that I can get away for. I'll give law enforcement a little credit. I'll say I think at least a week.
You give yourself very little credit.
I'm saying that's at least. I'm thinking I can get away. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I would.
a while.
I would give myself. I think I could get at least a month easy. If I'm able to get out of the country, then done.
Yeah.
Gone. They'll never
For
find
sure.
me.
100%.
How about you, Mike?
Maybe 5 hours. I wouldn't be able to make it long at all.
He'd have a changing
Just guilty conscience. Like I can't do it.
About stuff like that, where I wouldn't be able to make it at all. I was thinking about like that the kid who shot the UHC, the United Healthcare.
Yeah, dude.
And I was just like, God, I wouldn't be able to like. I'd be able to sleep or anything, knowing everybody was looking for you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, Mike. This first question, I want you to answer this one. All right.
Go ahead.
So let's say, so you're meeting your father-in-law for the first time. Let's say when you and your girl were dating back in the day. All right.
Yeah.
He doesn't say a word. He just hands you an aux cord. What song are you playing?
An aux cord?
Just like to your phone to just play a song. You got to win over his heart.
Probably just something I like Fish. I just throw a Fish song on.
Would he be happy with that answer?
No, he'd probably like, what the hell is this? But if it was something for him,
You're trying to impress this man.
Yeah, I've known my father-in-law for shit.
Do you have any prior knowledge of him?
No, that like you're just meeting him for the first, like your first impression of him. What would you think he would want to hear? That's kind of what I'm thinking.
country song, and I never listened to any country, so
Oh man,
So it's going.
that could be very insulting depending on what you played too.
That's true.
Because
Yeah.
country fans
I play.
Sean, how about you?
I could cheat and just say anything Beatles, but like it's because I know like that was his favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, probably something like 70s rock.
That's what I was thinking. I would think
yeah.
like something psychedelic, like
Yeah.
some like Zeppelin or something.
Yeah, because he kind of has like a little bit of like old
Yeah, that,
school
like, chill
hippie.
vibe to
Yeah,
him,
but-
yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Then my father-in-law. I mean, I think I would just have to play. I would have played like
Frankie Valley,
like some or like maybe it's just like
Frank Sinatra.
yeah, Frankie, like
Yeah.
little blue eyes for him because he just looks so Italian.
yeah, he does.
That like you got to just play some kind of crooner stuff, and
correct.
he would respect it. But his tried and true would be he loves U2.
Oh God,
Yeah, he loves U2, and
Jesus.
then
I just lost a little respect for him. God damn.
believe me, that's one that him and I do not agree.
Yeah,
with.
I don't know why.
He's
I know,
also a huge
and I
Springsteen
know
fan,
that's a
which I'm
very
sure you're not
unpopular
shocked.
opinion because like I'm just not a U2 fan.
Yeah,
I
I'm
never
not
have
either.
been. Just don't think they're great, but I know most people.
I
love
think
them.
that's some of our mother rubbing off on us too. 'cause
Yeah,
I,
for
don't,
sure.
I mean, is she a U2 fan? I don't think she's a
I
U2
don't
fan.
know.
In I was in high school. It was like 1991. At Hershey Park, U2 came out, and they practiced for their tour.
Okay.
I forget what the tour was called, but they practice at like in an outdoor stadium at Hershey Park every night of the week. Everybody in high school and all the high schools, you just sat out in the hood of your car, hanging out, listening to them practice. And then at the end of the week, they ended up announcing a show, and we all went to it. But that made me like U2 a little bit.
I get that. Like you always have a personal connection and stuff. I just never like found that one song that I like.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, they're just not for me. I don't know. I know it's an unpopular opinion.
So I'm there with
I
you.
almost made my college roommate like he was offended.
Yeah.
He was from Ireland and he's like a giant U2 fan. He's like, "What the fuck do you mean you don't like U2?" And I'm like, "Don't," because I'm like, "Turn this shit off." He's like, "What the fuck did you just say?" I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like I didn't know. Okay, I'm sorry, man. Jeez.
I heard too many people have like a strong opinion against U2, but
Oh, is that right? I know. Like I thought the South Park episode where about the
Hilarious.
biggest piece of shit ever is Bono. Is like, have you seen that episode?
I don't know.
Okay, so your homework after this is just go on YouTube and just type in South Park Bono, and it'll come up.
It'll
And you
just
gotta
it'll
see
show the
scene.
last like 30 seconds
All
of
you need to
the
see it.
episode. It's hilarious.
Yes, it's about recording the world's largest piece of shit, like taking the biggest shit.
Yeah.
And it's pretty funny. So I don't know. It's one of my favorites.
Hey, I'm there with you.
Cheers, you two.
All right, last question. If you could live in anyone's if you can live anyone's life in their body, who would you be?
In their body,
Yeah.
our consciousness, though.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I definitely want somebody taller.
Wish I was a little bit taller. Wish I was a baller.
Is it like right now or like in their prime?
You choose.
Adam Scott in his prime.
Okay, so weird choice.
Complete opposite of me.
Yeah, missing about Adam Scott. Like, did he have like an incredible wife or something like
Yeah,
that?
he's just a good looking dude. He's a complete opposite of me. Good looking, tall, skinny. You know what I mean? Like he has a cool accent.
That's cool.
Yeah, so let's just go completely different.
So we know who
Try
Sean's
this model out.
man crush is.
No, and
okay?
honestly, it was just I was just watching a YouTube video with him on against Grant Horvat, and then he was just one of them. Like, oh yeah, that would be a pretty sweet
you're
life.
just,
And he's good at. He's won the Masters. Like he plays golf for a living. Like fuck yeah, I'll do that. And I would finally be good at golf.
Just pitching a tent while you're watching Adam Scott.
Yeah, why not?
I get it. All right.
I'd rather be like DeChambeau than Adam Scott. Or
Yeah,
something.
I got that. I got that.
How about you, Mike?
The first thing that came to mind was Harrison Ford, just because he was, Han
Iconic.
Solo and Indiana Jones. Like probably the two coolest
sweet.
characters in the history of movies.
Very true.
And he was both of them.
Very true.
Heck yeah, I like that answer. For me, I think first thing that popped into my head would be like Elon Musk, just because like the shit he's getting to see right now, like it'd be kind of dope.
I mean, depending on what phase in his life, Tiger Woods would also
Yeah,
be very
that's what I was
fun.
thinking, Tiger
Like,
Woods, but then
if it's pre-putter through the window, I mean, like he was running through stuff, partying, like that would be kind of a fun.
that one
Tiger
definitely
Woods.
popped into my head. Yeah, I think it would be fun to be Shaq.
It would be. I mean,
Dude just like shits money and can literally just do whatever he wants, and he's a giant.
He's a
Like
giant.
it would be kind of cool to see life from that perspective.
I just have to assume like getting out of bed for Shaq is hard. Like everything probably difficult.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know if I have to live out the rest of my days as Shaq, but I've experienced a couple and like walking those huge size 24s. Like
God bless.
crazy.
You can't just like go shoe shopping. You can't just go clothes
Sean,
shopping.
you're Shaq. You can literally like snap your fingers and have like 5 Italian men out there
Is that how it
cobbling shoes
They
right
come
around
out-
right around his foot, and then they just tailor a suit right around him. He's ready to go. That's what I envision.
So my, it just is completely random story. So I'm pretty sure, the movie The Santa Claus? Mm-hmm. You know the part in the movie where the parents get called in the principal's office because the kid's like, he believes like way too hard and stuff.
Yeah.
That's like my son right now with elves. There's a stupid YouTube show called Ben and Holly that he's obsessed with. And he's like convinced that like elves are real. And I tried saying like, it's just a cartoon. Like it's very bad animation cartoon. Like it's a cartoon. He's like, no, they're real. They're real. No, they're real.
Everywhere.
So he gave a presentation at school to all the other 4-year-olds about like where elves live and how they make like toys and stuff. I'm like, God damn it. Shit. Like, what are we going to do here? Dash this little kid's dreams.
Do you though? Maybe he knows things you don't.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's why I'm like, are you seeing shit?
Yeah, he
You
might.
tell dad, don't tell mom, or she'll freak out. All right, dad's more open minded about him. So, it's like,
You trap one of them?
yeah, you're right. Yeah, just remember that when you're like 18. All right, if I ever find a bag in your, I'm not gonna tell mom.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take it myself.
It was the elves.
Yeah, correct. It was the. I'm gonna leave you a little note. Exactly. It was the elf for sure. Yes, for sure.
We are real. Haha.
God bless it. So what's next on the agenda for you? Is it just Signature One? Is that like the next big event you're going to?
Yeah, I'm looking at maybe Detroit or Brighton, I guess they call it.
I know. I want to go, but it's like the day we get back from fucking Florida, and I just don't think I'm going to be able to swing that.
Yeah, it is.
It sucks because it's only 2 hours from us. Like, it's really not far.
It's the only one where the flight, like, I mean, they went to Biloxi, West Monroe,
I know.
like places that aren't very easy to get in and out.
Of course
for
not.
Me.
Yeah,
Washington,
or
DC.
normal humans. Like,
A little. But that one actually looks pretty easy to get in and out. The only problem is it's 2 weeks before the first national.
Yeah.
And then May, there's the beginning of May, middle of May, end of May, 3 nationals or signatures in a row. So
yeah.
I don't know. I'm debating whether I'm going to go to that one or not. But
Okay.
we regional on Sunday. That's like the next thing I got.
I know, because after we go to Florida, like, we don't have anything on our like agenda, so we're kind of keeping it open. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like
kinda.
maybe we might just end up popping up at a national. You know what I mean? Like, just who knows? Like,
Yeah.
just go over. We haven't been to. Did we go to any nationals last year?
I don't think we did. No.
Yeah, we didn't go to any nationals last year, so it's just nice to pop in and see people and say, "Hey, what's
Around
up?"
the ACL. Hey, we're still
Yeah,
here.
what's up? Yeah.
What do you go for?
So my I guess we should talk about this.
Yeah.
Just promote it a
Might
little
as
bit.
well.
So my college roommate is originally from Ireland. He moved to Florida after school, and him and his brother just opened like an authentic like Irish pub. He's been in the restaurant bar business since he's graduated, and they had everything imported direct, like every piece of wood, everything's directly from Ireland. So you walk in this place and you're like, holy shit! It's like his neighborhood. He like kind of modeled it after like
reminds me
his
of
neighborhood pub. And so they opened like 1.5 years ago, and last year they had their first St. Patrick's Day party, which was like this huge epic event. So we went down in April when I took my kids to Disney World. Had to stop by and see him. I hadn't seen him in a long time. Check out his bar, and he found out about the podcast, and he's like, "Well, fuck." He's like, "You and your brother should come down and record an episode on St. Patrick's Day." And he's like, we had cornhole boards out and stuff last year. He's like, you guys just do giveaways. He's like, I'll give out like a free shot to anyone that can beat you guys in a round or something. You know what I mean? And like, just he's like, you guys just come get content, just come. So we're basically gonna have
So
a
if
shit
any of
show
you
weekend.
good players want to come out and drink for free,
So
I
it's
mean,
it's in downtown Orlando. It's called The Castle. It's the best Irish pub, best fucking food you're gonna have like in that area. It's phenomenal. Owner is Shane. It's a terrific place. Like, I can't wait to go. So we have obligations on Saturday. We're going to be there. It's basically our plane lands. We're going direct to the bar. And then on St. Patrick's Day on that Monday,
Yep.
we will be there. And then Sunday and Tuesday, we're bringing our wives and we're going to take them to Disney World. So making it little adults trip. It'll be fun. Going to go get hammered at Disney World. And go,
Hell
do
yeah.
Do all the fun stuff without the kids for a trip. So
Yeah, like wait in line for 3 hours.
yeah. But with beverages.
With beverages.
You guys should air that live. Like, I don't know. You just did something live. You did it with
Yeah.
like, I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we probably should. We probably could.
I'd have to get the stuff on a laptop.
I have a laptop.
We can get the stuff on it.
There we go.
Can't put it on.
I think we'll probably go live. We're gonna do giveaways. Like, I have a bunch of stuff ordered. I'm having bags made for them just to kind of do, and then we just have to figure out what. Okay, let's brainstorm. Can we brainstorm for a second? What do we want to do as like a giveaway? Like, what should we make people do? Like, do they have to beat one of us in a round? They get to pick who they play against.
Yeah.
You know, a down and back. They got to score more points than us or something.
Sure. And if it's a tie, then airmail battle. Something like that, or I don't know. We can just, if it's something
Tie-
that's never
tie, they
throw,
can-
be like, hey, if you get score over a 6,
Yeah.
I'll get you a drink.
Or listen, if they tie us, they get a drink.
Yeah.
just give them a discount or something.
God, I have to be on my game now. Oof.
No, we don't. I want to start recording when we get there Monday morning, and then just keep recording, like kind of like a TCL event where you can just tell we're getting progressively more fucked up as we go on. Like, we get the volume gets a little louder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
We're back.
yeah, correct.
We're back.
Yeah, did I say I'm back? Already?
Nobody's left.
Yeah, correct. So,
You guys should get one of those pictures and sign it like cheers, Sean and Dane.
Oh,
have it on the wall
for sure. Yeah, I want to. I'm having stuff just random like little knick-knack stuff, and it'll be fun. I just want to go down and support my buddy, and hopefully maybe it'll be like a yearly tradition kind of thing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So we have family down there too, so it's like cheap for us. All I had to pay were for the flights and then Disney tickets and stuff like that. But once my wife heard that we were going to Orlando, she's like, "You're not going to Orlando for 5 fucking days." And like, I'm not like, "What, are you serious?" I'm like, "Oh, well, why don't you guys come?" All right, that'd be so nice. So you guys join us. But my wife's not like a huge like go to the bar all day kind of person, so she'll probably be just chilling in a pool like at my aunt's house all day kind of thing. So I already told her it's a business trip and
you have to do business.
Gotta do business. Gotta do business. All right, Mike. Thank you very much, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you bailing us out.
Hope it went all right.
It was great.
It was great.
It's great. Look, we talked like an hour and it.
I know. Look at that. Didn't even feel like
nothing.
it.
Like nothing. So I hope you guys enjoy the episode. Jeremiah, if you're listening to this, hope everything's good, brother. We'll talk soon, and then we'll get you on. We'll reschedule and everything. But I understand shit happens. I have a sick kid at home right now, anyway. So
yep,
world works in mysterious ways, and like what a pleasant surprise you guys are all getting to have Mike Hoffman, the left-handed.
Was that a YouTube
Can we call
reference?
you the left-handed Jeremiah Ellis? We'll go with that. Now that you're rolling bags, we'll call you the lefty. Yeah,
left-handed roll pops.
Instead of like, we got to get you a big chain, but instead of saying believe, we got to come up with your own slogan, like
achieve,
like we try, like tried hard or something like that, or be good.
Well, I like it. I remember you referred to me one time, Dane, as the Kirk Cousins of.
I like it.
I thought that was hilarious. I had to tell you that.
I forgot about that. That's so good. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm going to clip the shit out of that. That's going to be our post for sure. For sure.
And for the record, I love Kirk Cousins, so that is not a slight.
Yeah. Listen, who didn't watch the Netflix quarterbacks and didn't fall in love with Kirk Cousins?
So much respect for that dude.
Hell yeah. Like, he's just a good dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's a boss too. Like, he walks in, he's like, "I'm not working Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday unless we have a game. We're good. All right, cool.
It's family day.
I don't show up Wednesday. I have family, so we're good. I'll show up on Thursday and Friday, and then I'll play on Sunday. So that sounds good. You want to pay me $40 million a year? Sounds like a steal.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Atlanta. Oh, you want to bench me? Sure, why not?
Yeah. Hey, more family time.
Yep. Get to go to church with my wife, so we're good. Well, anyways, enough of that. Hope you guys enjoy the episode. We'll be back next week with more audio gold. But as always, we hope you throw it straight. And it's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later.